baby didn't wag. That was the first crack. Cooper's a golden with a golden heart. He greets the mailman like a celebrity. But when Shayna came through the door at 7 a.m. on Sunday, he stood up, looked at her, and turned his head away like he was refusing a treat. 2 minutes later, the shelter's treasurer texted me a photo of the weekend cash log with a red circle around a short count. "Vet envelope light again," she wrote. At the same time, my phone chimed with an update on Cooper's microchip profile, the kind you ignore unless you're me. It showed a second contact number added at midnight. Not mine, not hers, a Clearwater area code I didn't know. "I'm Colt, 43, diesel mechanic off US 19. If you've ever limped a box truck into a yard near Sunset Point and watched a guy crawl under it with a light and a socket set, that's my church. I like things that either run or don't. No maybe in an engine. My wife Shayna runs a small animal shelter off Dulcher Road. She's good with soft faces and sad stories. Lately, she's been taking overnight care, gigs at a trailer park tucked behind one of those buy here, pay here lots on 19, the kind of place where LED signs promise zero down and reality says otherwise. The excuse is always the same. A solo husky with separation anxiety that only sleeps if someone human is nearby. Somehow, that husky's worst hours are always Friday to Sunday. Shayna floated in the kitchen like she hadn't slept, new bracelet on her wrist, chunky silver chain catching the light. She set her tote on the counter and pulled out a stainless thermos, 2 dog collars that didn't belong to us, and a wad of receipts folded like a secret. She kissed Cooper on the head, and he flinched, small but real. My stomach did a slow turn. "How was the husky?" I asked. "He's a zen nightmare," she said, reaching for coffee. "How was your world?" "Black smoke in, black smoke out," I said. She smiled, then frowned when she saw the way I was looking at her. "What?" "Coop's chip got an update," I said, keeping my voice level. "Second contact added at midnight." She blinked, then blew on her coffee. "That's good," she said. "Too fast. Backup numbers help with the dog bolts." "Whose number?" "Client's," she said. "The trucker. You met him." "I've never met him," I said. She fought a shrug. "Well, I'll text you his contact so you have it too. He's around the park a lot. He helps with the fence lines. Huskies his neighbors." "You added the number," I said. She wiped a ring off the counter with her sleeve like the mess was the point. "Colt, you're a good man. You get this. It's about the dogs. Sometimes the system needs a nudge." She sipped, then made a face. "Did you switch coffee?" "Same as always." The treasurer's photo burned in my pocket. I could have pulled it out right then. Instead, I watched her bracelet catch a stripe of sun. We've been broke in honest ways, and we've been okay in simple ones. New jewelry on a weekend of volunteer nights tasted wrong. "Why's the vet envelope light?" I asked. She set the mug down a little too carefully. "You know cash flow?" she said. "I fronted gas for transports. I'll square it this week. Don't be dramatic." "I'm not dramatic," I said. "I'm asking." "Then trust me," she said, and the way she said trust landed like a wrench in the wrong place. I took Cooper for a walk to cool the air. Clearwater was already hot enough to steam a man in his boots. We cut behind the tire place near Gulf to Bay and took the service road that runs parallel to 19. Pawn shops blinked. A guy hawked boiled peanuts from a cooler. The highway moaned like a tired animal. I rubbed Cooper's ears, and he leaned into me like he needed a wall. 2 weeks back, the shelter got a stack of donor cash for emergency vet. I'd helped Shayna count out the bills at our kitchen table, smoothing the edges. That night, she said the Husky client needed fuel to drive dogs to a clinic in Tampa. I asked who he was. She said, "Good people help," then kissed my cheek and left with a gas can I hadn't seen since I stopped mowing for my neighbor. I chose the wrong morning to pretend I didn't see the pattern. Monday, I went to work. The yard smelled like diesel and baked rubber. My foreman, Big Ray, speaks in torque numbers and jokes. He took one look at my face and said, "You got a rattle." "Alignment's off," I said. "You want a beer or an alibi?" he asked. "Neither," I said. "I want a manual." "People ain't machines," he said, and handed me a gearbox. "But bolts still need torquing. Start there." I torqued bolts until my forearms shook. I texted the treasurer on break. She sent me the drawer counts for the last 3 weekends. Short. $68, $104, $82. Always on Saturday night, she wrote. Always when Shayna does overnights. "Any receipts?" I asked. "Gas slips," she wrote. "Handwritten. No dogs listed." After shift, I swung by the shelter. The lobby smelled like bleach and hope. A nursey volunteer named Lila sat behind the desk with a puppy and a baby sling. She looked up, and her face did the thing people's faces do when they realize they're about to be part of something not on the chore chart. "Hey, Colt," she said. "She in the back." "I'll wait," I said. "You seen Cooper's microchip profile lately?" "I don't go into personal profiles without permission," she said. "Privacy." "Sure," I said, just asking if the system logs who adds contacts. "It does," she said carefully. "Timestamp, IP, why?" "No reason," I said, and felt how heavy no can be when it's holding a yes. Shayna came out with a terrier under her arm and a look that skipped past me. "You can't just show up," she said, "like I was a stranger at her workplace." "I can if I'm bringing you dinner," I said, holding up a public sub I'd bought on instinct. Her mouth softened a little. "You're sweet," she said. "I'm slammed. Can we table home stuff?" "It's a shelter," I said. "Everything's tables." "Colt," she warned. "Not here." On the way home, the sky did that Florida thunder build, clouds snaking out low, light flickering like someone testing a switch. I pulled into a Wawa for gas and ran into a woman with a rescue t-shirt and a scanner dangling from her neck. She's one of those volunteers who knows every dog by name and every owner by car. "You got Cooper, right?" she asked. "Golden, sweet boy." "Yeah," I said. "Why?" "We picked him up Saturday," she said, like she was telling me a storm had missed my house and hit my neighbors instead. I went cold. "What?" "Loose on Sunset Point," she said. "Guy with a big Chevy waved us down and said that Golden belongs to my friend's wife, Shayna." We scanned, called the number on file. It rang to a man. He met us at a yard near the park and said he'd hold him. "We didn't love it," she said, quick, seeing my face, "but we were out on 3 calls at once and the dog knew him and he had a fenced yard." We logged it. "You scanned again later?" I asked, voice small. "Yeah," she said. "Sunday afternoon, we were doing a free microchip event. We rechecked the data. 2 numbers on the profile. One was yours, the other was his." "Can you tell me his name?" I asked. "The guy with the Chevy." She glanced at the scanner like it could protect her. "I shouldn't," she said. "Privacy." "My dog is my family," I said. "If someone changed his tag to read someone else's name, I need to know who." She looked at me and then at the storm and made a choice. "Ty," she said. "Tall, ball cap. Drives a dark blue Silverado with a chrome toolbox. Lives in that trailer park by the pawn shop." My lungs cinched. "Okay," I said. "Thank you." She put her hand on my arm. Quick, kind. "I'm sorry," she said. "You seem like a good one." I went home to a dog who smelled like someone else's yard. The thought of him confused in a stranger's fence made my hands shake. I sat at the kitchen table and pulled up Cooper's microchip account. There it was. Secondary contact, Ty M number, 727XXX. Added timestamp, Saturday 12:11 a.m. Source, user account, Shayna S. The system logged IP address. I copied the string and pasted it into a note. Late night editions leave marks. When Shayna came in, she dropped her tote and rubbed her eyes like I was the problem. "Long day," she said. "You added Ty to Cooper's chip," I said. "I told you," she said. "Back up." "He picked up our dog from a volunteer in his yard," I said. "Why was Cooper in his yard?" She blinked, then bit her lip like that could hold back everything. "He spooked when I got home," she said. "Gate didn't latch. Ty caught him before he hit 19. "You went to Ty's," I said. "We were dropping off supplies," she said. "We," I said. "Me," she corrected, too late. "What about the money?" I said. "Why is the vet envelope light?" She laughed once without joy. "We're really doing this? You want me to show you what it costs to keep animals alive? Gas, ice, extra food when donations run low. I keep the lights on. The board loves to count receipts later and pretend dogs don't eat on weekends." "You're moving donor cash to a guy's pocket," I said. Her eyes flashed. "He's a hauler," she said. "He takes slabs to Ocala and comes back with dogs. It's gas either way. Don't make it dirty." "I didn't," I said. "You did." She pushed her hands through her hair. "You do not get to talk to me like I'm stealing from babies," she said. "I'm saving them." "You changed our dog's emergency to a man I've never met," I said. "You left our gate open. You told me a solo husky needs you when it's really you who needs the weekend." She stared. "You think I'm sleeping with him?" I didn't answer. Silence did it for me. Her mouth tightened. "God, Colt," she said, "you're a mechanic. You look at a dipstick and make a whole story." "I look at numbers," I said, "and the smell of whiskey on a man's yard." She grabbed her tote. I need space, she said. I'll be at the trailer. My trailer, I said, or his. She didn't answer. The door closed. Cooper put his head in my lap and breathed like he was apologizing just for being a dog. I didn't go after her. There was nothing at that park I wanted and 1,000 things I didn't. Instead, I got busy with the only tool I trusted, the truth. I asked the treasurer for the last 6 weeks of cash logs. I asked the bank for our joint card transactions. Gas at Cash's Quick Mart. Cash at the lotto stand. A Venmo to Ty-M Transport, labeled with a heart and a paw print. I took photos of Cooper's chip profile with a timestamp and IP. I printed the volunteer pickup log with Ty Yard underlined. I wrote down the dates of every Husky night and circled the weekends. The circles made a story even my worst enemy could read. At the shelter's next board meeting, I asked to speak. They meet in a tan room at the back with a folding table and a whiteboard that still has kitten season scrawled in a corner. The board chair, a retired accountant named Marv with a mustache that belongs in 1978, gave me a polite nod. "Keep it to 5, he said. "I'll be shorter," I said. "I have facts." Shayna sat 2 chairs down with her arms crossed, bracelet glinting. She would not look at me. She looked at the clock like time might come through for her. "There's a pattern," I said. "Cash shortfalls on weekends tied to overnights at the park. Handwritten gas receipts with no intake notes. A man named Ty added a secondary contact on the shelter director's dog at midnight. Same man accepted that dog from volunteers at his yard. He's the same man receiving donated cash as fuel money for trips with dogs. This is either a sloppy chain or a deliberate one. Either way, it's a breach." Marv cleared his throat. "Do you have proof?" he asked. I slid the folder across. He flipped. The treasurer leaned in, a woman with a bob and a stern face. The rescue's lawyer, I think, squinted at the IP address and nodded. Shayna let out a breath like a laugh. "We are drowning," she said. "You want to cuff me for feeding animals? You want to hang me because a decent man caught my loose dog and put him in a yard to keep him from being road paint?" "Don't make yourself a hero in a story about a drawer," I said. "I gave that money to a hauler to pull dogs from a kill list," she said. "You want to be mad at someone? Be mad at the county. Be mad at budgets. Be mad at God. Don't be mad at me for buying gas." The board lawyer spoke, calm but sharp. "Did you log those transfers?" she asked. Shayna pressed her lips together. "Not yet," she said. "Did you request pre-approval?" the lawyer asked. "I am the one who pre-approves," Shayna shot back. "It's my shelter." Marv looked tired. "It's our shelter," he said. "We carry it together." "What do you want from me?" Shayna asked, voice breaking on the edges. "A public flogging?" "Receipts," Marv said. "A pause on overnights and an audit." Shayna stood, pushed her chair hard enough to bite the tile. "Do what you want," she said. "I have actual lives to save." She left. The bracelet flashed at the door and I realized that's how the truth sometimes announces itself, like a shiny thing everyone pretends is pretty until it sits in the wrong light. I didn't go home. I went to the park, not to fight, to find my dog's nose prints on a fence. The trailer park on 19 looks like heat broke down and built houses out of it. Tin roofs, plastic chairs, a boat on cinder blocks, kids on bikes weaving like they were born with mirrors in their necks. I saw the blue Chevy with the chrome box in a lot halfway down, next to a chain-link gate with a sign that said, "Beware of dog and no soliciting and smile, you're on camera," which is a lot of shouting for a man who claims he keeps things simple. "Can I help you?" a voice said behind me. He was taller than me by a hat. Tie, ball cap, beard that tried to make him look kinder. It failed. "I'm here for Cooper," I said. He looked over my shoulder like he expected backup. "Don't know a Cooper," he said. "I do," I said. "Golden, likes tennis balls, hates fireworks, knows better people than we do." "What's your problem, man?" he asked, spreading his hands. "Your wife asked me to help, so I helped." "You changed my dog's microchip," I said. He shrugged. "She changed it. I told her it made sense. Y'all should be thanking me." "Thank you," I said, voice flat as a socket wrench. "Now take my number off." "It's not a bad thing," he said. "Community, right? We're all just trying to keep dogs safe." "You're kissing my wife and cashing her donor envelopes," I said. "That doesn't look like community to me." His jaw ticked. "You want to take a swing," he said, moving a half-inch closer, like that would push me back. "I want you out of our records," I said, "and I want the board to know you have a key to their cache." He laughed then, full and ugly. "Buddy," he said, "you think you're the first man to figure it out? She's bored. She works too much. You're married to your wrenches. I'm married to the road. We made a deal. Your dog is safe with me, your wife is safe with me, and your shelter's dogs get gas. That's a win-win. Take your wins to another county, I said. He leaned in. Or what? He said. Or, I said, you get a visit from the city about unlicensed boarding and a call from the donors who gave their Christmas cash so you could drink whiskey in a yard you don't own. I stepped to the side, closer to the gate. Or, I open this and call him, Coop. The golden head popped up in the back of the yard like a sun on legs. He barked once like he just realized where he was supposed to be his whole life. I didn't go in. I don't trespass. I looked at Ty. Open it, I said, or I dial. He rolled his eyes like I was the problem and undid the latch. Cooper barreled through like a forgiveness missile and knocked me dead center. I knelt in the dirt and pressed my head to his neck and breathed and felt him breathe and decided some things can still be good. You're insane, Ty said. Enjoy the audit, I said. I went straight from there to the shelterboard chair's house. Marv sits on his porch like a lifeguard at a dry pool. I handed him the rest of my folder. He whistled slow. You done your homework? He said. I fix things, I said. Sometimes they're not engines. He scratched his mustache. We'll call a special meeting. We'll freeze cache. We'll change chip passwords and take director-level edits out of one set of hands. You okay? I looked at my dog in my truck. He looked back like he'd go where I drove. I'm okay enough, I said. Shayna moved into a single wide on the park's second row by the end of the week. She didn't call it that. She said, I'm giving you space. I said, you're giving me clarity. We had our last big talk on a Tuesday when the sky was white and the air tasted like the inside of a damp towel. She stood on our porch and smelled like bleach and stress and a life I didn't belong to anymore. You're really doing this, she said. Divorce over gas money. Divorce over lies, I said. Over my dog's name under a stranger's thumb, over your hand in a drawer with a story to tell after. I never took a cent from me, she said. Not once. That's your defense, I said, that you fed your need by feeding someone else's tank. She looked at Cooper, then at the bracelet on her wrist like it might testify for her. Will you really tell donors, she asked. You'll make me into a thief in front of people who think I'm a saint. I'll tell them the truth, I said. Then I'll step back and let them decide what to call it. She laughed a little, then rubbed the laugh off her face with her palm like it stung. You think you're better, she said, because you hold a wrench and a rule book. No, I said. I think I'm lucky because I get to love a dog who knows the difference between a home and a yard. She flinched and then nodded, slow, like she was finally hearing the thing I'd been saying since Sunday. Can I still see him? She asked, small. Not at night, I said, and not at that park. You want to throw a ball with him at Coachman Park on a Saturday, you text. You want to take him to the vet, you clear it with me. You want access to his chip, the answer is no. You're punishing me, she said. I'm protecting him, I said, and me. The board made their calls. They did an audit. The report didn't scream, it just stated. Funds moved without pre-approval. Cash disbursed for fuel with no intake documentation. Microchip contact edits made from a director-level login outside of shelter hours. They pulled keys. They reassigned duties. They asked for a resignation letter and got one with a paragraph about burnout and misunderstandings. The donor sent emails that sounded like sighs and checks that still cleared because dogs don't know who runs the drawers. Cooper stopped turning his head away when she walked in. Dogs are braver than us. He forgave faster than I did. He slept under my hand at night with a snore like a motorcycle a mile away. On Saturdays, I took him to the causeway and threw a ball until my shoulder hurt. We watched pelicans tuck in and dive. We watched the sky do its evening trick. We went home to a house with one toothbrush and a cup and a ledger on the counter with no math errors. When the lawyer slid the papers across, I signed like a man who had once rebuilt a caterpillar in a parking lot using a headlamp and a prayer. My hand was steady. We split the debts down their seams, and I paid mine off one bolt at a time over the next 3 months. I put a note on my toolbox that said, "You don't need a bottle, you need a socket." I put a reminder on my phone for the microchip password change every quarter. I learned that some lines you paint once and some you repaint because sun and people fade them. The last time I saw Ty, he was at the counter of a convenience store paying for a lottery ticket with cash. He didn't look up. The world was doing the small work of ignoring him. That felt like justice more than any speech could. Someone asked me if I missed her. I missed the version of us who used to sit in the parking lot of the Clearwater Marine Aquarium and eat fries out of the bag and laugh at nothing. But I like the man who lives in my house now. He wakes early, he measures parcels, he keeps oil on hand, he files things, he puts food in a bowl for a dog who taught him the right way to greet the truth, sniff it, sit with it, and if it's not safe, walk away. Was I right to take it to the board and draw my lines in public, or should I have kept it private and prayed the drawer balanced later? Where do you draw the line between helping the mission and stealing from it when the gas can and the story get passed to a man with a yard? If this hit you, tell me how you'd handle it. Like, drop your take in the comments and subscribe for more.